Hey Capricorn, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all good, having a great day. I'm going to see what wants to come out. If this does resonate, like, share and subscribe. It's always greatly appreciated. Nearly missed that. We've got the Fool on the back of the deck. First card out, the Moon. Followed by the Wheel of Fortune, 33 seconds on the clock. Guys, it feels like you're really starting to trust your intuition, that you're believing in yourself. You can see what's possible. You can see the dream. You can see things coming into fruition. It feels like there's lots of signs, lots of confirmation that you've been making the right decision. There's going to be an increase in your finances. If this hasn't happened already, this is going to happen. Although it's something gradually, it's kind of like rapidly. It's consistent, but it's coming in fast. You've cut cords with something. Feels like this is something you've been intentionally trying to release or step away from for some time. For some of you, that's just with self-doubt, with being your own worst enemy, your harshest critic. Feels like you've been nurturing your own inner truth, accepting all sides of yourself. You could have been guided to face certain feelings, having to sit in the cringe, sit in the pain, sit in the shame, sit in the guilt, to let yourself know that it's okay. It feels like unconditional love for yourself. I am you and you are me, that kind of energy. This is changing everything. The Wheel of Fortune is such a beautiful, complex, mysterious card, and there's so many different things that can come from this. But it feels like by you really jumping, like diving deep into the abyss, into the void, into yourself, you're unlocking doors that you never knew were there. You're unlocking parts of yourself that you never knew was there. Or maybe parts of yourself that you did know were there, but you dismissed them because they weren't right, or they didn't. It was a way that you needed to conform, that you couldn't express certain parts of yourself, certain gifts. It feels like this is all going out the window, a very unapologetic kind of energy. That thing of sometimes it takes us to be told so many times that we're one thing to realize what we truly are. There could have been a lot of judgment. Feels like you had to get angry. Something got you angry. Maybe be just that thing of not being believed in. I'm seeing a son talking to their father, and it's like trying to convince them that their business plan is the best thing since sliced bread. And it's like the dad's rolling his eyes. You could have been waiting for someone to believe in you in order to get going. It feels like because of the lack of belief in you from the outside, that you've amped your own self-belief up. That if no one's rooting for you, you might as well root for yourself. If no one's going to help you, you might as well help yourself. This has been a huge commitment, 404. Very independent, self-sufficient energy. This is something that you can carry with you for the long term. Breaking free, breaking through. You could be finding that you're having multiple breakthroughs. It could feel hard to catch your breath. Like you're continuing to fall. I'm seeing someone struggling to climb up. It's like climbing out of some kind of tunnel, but as quick as they climb up, it's like the rocks crumbling, they're falling back down. You can feel like you're just getting back on your feet, going back to square one. You're cultivating something here. This is like alchemy at its finest. You're finding the balance, learning to dance, learning to It's like I'm seeing someone surfing. It's like finding that perfect balance. Being rooted, being strong, being stable, regardless of the storm around you. 8 of Wands, celebration, future energy. Interesting, I just went to start reading what I thought was the 8 of Wands, and it was the 8 of Swords. And a message come through, and also this 8 of Wands is on page 124. This is a magical course in tarot, Michelle Morgan. But the 8 of Swords, that self-restrictive, that illusion, that self-imposed prison. Feeling stuck, feeling trapped, feeling blocked, like there's no way out, self-doubt, overthinking, worst case scenario. It's like that's what you could think this is. Feeling like something bad's coming, feeling suspense, feeling anticipation, feeling concerned that something's been a waste of time. It's like you could be feeling like something's about to be, the future's about to be that 8 of Swords, cloudy, foggy, murky kind of energy. Because that's how it's been. But it's like you've successfully shifted. This feels like timeline jump kind of energy. 8 of Wands. This is what it really is. The 8 of Wands is a card of action. This is a time of swift movement, channels of communication opening wide, and the unfettered exchange of pure energy. There is a dizzying aspect to this card. Things will speed up and change at a moment's notice. And choices and options abound. Now is the time to send messages, make contacts, act on wishes and dreams and ideas. Others will see you in a brighter light and respond. Love and creativity are electrified. Here is a gypsy carnival at midnight, summer solstice, and the fires of Yule igniting all at once. Reach for the stars. It feels like coming back to home, coming back to nature, coming back to what you truly value. Creating things your own way, sense of community, breaking free the illusion of time. I'm seeing like celebrations all through the night. Breaking out of the box. It's like you do things when you feel guided to do them. Creating your own narrative, your own schedule, your own lifestyle, your own way that it's meant to be, the way that it's meant to run. It's like you choose how things are running, you choose how you want to live, you choose how you want to enjoy your life. It feels like you've taken steps to create a foundation where you can do this. There's a lot of celebration in the near future. Feels like it's been a dark period. Some of you, it's like you're still in the dark. You haven't seen confirmation, or something hasn't shifted in your reality for you to realise the truth of things, of how far you've come, of what you've actually accomplished, of where you stand right now. Maybe there's not been anything to compare it to. It's like you might not be able to see how far you've come. What's coming through is that thing of when you're around someone every day, you can't really tell if they've gained weight, lost weight, if their hair's a little shorter or a little longer. But it's like if you haven't seen them for a long time, there's a drastic, there's something to compare it to. It's like this old image versus the new. It feels like you might not be fully appreciating your own transformation, your own litness, King of Wands, because you're with you all the time. Step outside, take a look at the outsider to truly admire yourself right now in all the glorious ways that you are you. In order for something to balance and prosper for the long term, there needed to be some kind of stability, some kind of balance. For you to find your own perception of balance, what helps you to feel balanced. It feels like you've had to master your own reactive state, your own physical health, in order to be able to show up the way you really want to show up for the future, moving forward. Soul tribe energy, community. This one. Okay, an old social An old social group is coming to an end. An old maybe people that you've always hung around, places you go, something's coming to an end. It's like you're not going to the same places or doing the same things to socialize. It's like something that maybe once satisfied you or was once a thrill is no longer a thrill. As you're transforming, so are the places you're going to, so are the people you're around, so are the things you're entertaining. Feels like there's a sadness connected to this, as there often is with change, but honor your transformation. Understand that things that are coming in are going to be aligned with what you truly want, what you've worked hard to create. And it can be really hard. It's like when we're familiar, like when we're comfortable with certain people, places and things, that you think it wouldn't be a question. It's like, okay, here's everything you've manifested. Here's the joy, here's the bliss, here's the people that truly appreciate you, that you like-minded individuals. Here's everything you could have asked for, whatever it is, whether it's material, spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, abundance, whatever. You'd think it wouldn't even be a question, that if it come down to, okay, leave the old so you can embrace the new, that you'd obviously just jump into the things that you truly desire, the things that you're so excited and meant to have in this lifetime, the things that are true to you, the things that it's like you own your dreams, that you think there wouldn't be a question, that you'd never turn your back on this. But it's like in that moment, to leave what you've always known, or to grieve certain parts of yourself, or accept that certain things have moved on, or certain things are changing, or maybe people just don't see eye to eye with you. It's like something's not resonating, that you could be around the people you've always been around, but it's like there's an awkwardness, or something just doesn't flow. It's like you're not getting each other anymore. It feels like you've moved on, you've transcended something, you're gonna have to keep coming down to meet somebody. And this won't be forever. But it's like right now, it's like you need to do what you need to do for you. And to honour that, to put yourself first, to have patience. Try not to see things as so permanent, that everything's forever changing, that people are always in and out of our lives. Who we meet on the way up, we meet on the way down. Who we meet on the way down, we meet on the way up. But just being honest with yourself about what's really working for you and what's not, what's holding you back and what's not, and being clear with yourself that that's not personal. It's not about the other person. It's not about the places. It's not about judging what anyone else is doing. It's just that something doesn't align with you. And to really honour and respect that. Yeah, the High Priestess. Some of you, it's like moving away from family or someone you're living with, someone you've always been around. It could be like childhood friendships. Again, it doesn't mean that you'll never see these people again, but it feels like shifts are happening. Some kind of indecision about letting something go could be holding you back. This inner conflict's being brought to the surface. It could be quite frustrating to see this. What's actually getting in your way. It doesn't feel like the thing that you thought would get in your way. It feels like something you have the power to change as well, which is even more frustrating, because it feels like it's the thing you have the power to release whatever needs to be released, to change whatever needs to be changed. But you could be feeling very powerless because of how immense this change is, because of how different something's going to be. It feels like you actually can't do the very thing you cannot do. Eleanor Roosevelt quote coming through. It's like, yes, you can. King of Cups, yes you can. Let the feelings come. Guilt, shame, feeling bad that you've let someone down, feeling like you disappointed yourself, worry about, it's like let all those feelings come through. Be the observer. Breathe through it. Let them rise, let them just come and go. It doesn't change the fact of what you're here to do. It doesn't change the fact of what you're going to do. It doesn't change the fact that certain changes need to happen so that you can fully embrace, embody, and enjoy everything that you've created. This could be stemming from some kind of inner child wound, some kind of abandonment wound, or you felt like you had to take responsibility for your parents at a young age, and now you feel like you're the responsible one for everyone you meet. It's like you can't save everyone, save yourself first. This is something you've wanted since you were a child. This is the security, the appreciation, the love, unconditional love, the family, the respect, loyalty, authenticity that you've been craving. It's here and it's connected to your purpose. It's connected to this calling. You'll find it on the way. But it's going to mean you freeing yourself from your own limiting beliefs. 8 of Swords, Ace of Wands, 9 of Swords. You can do this. Hold your own hand. Be your own best friend. It's like we're only here once for a very short time in the grand scheme of things. The only thing people really regret is what they didn't do. Even if it's not worth giving it a go, give it a go anyway. You never know. Do it for you. As much as you do things to serve and you do things for others, me personally, and this might be right, it might be wrong, I don't know. It might be toxic, it might not be. But me personally, my own journey, I've learned that to not be serving at the sacrifice of myself. It's like, fill your cup first. Are you good? Sometimes I'll do a reading, and after I've done the reading, it's like it's ready to upload, it's ready to go. And I don't feel good in myself. I feel like I'm not ready to put this out. It doesn't feel right to put this out right now. Now, old me would have been like, it's done, you get it finished, you put it out straight away. It would be a chase, a need to please. I need to hurry up and get another reading out to make sure you guys have got something to watch. And then if I post the thing that I don't feel comfortable with posting, I'm left in these feelings that I've abandoned my own feelings to please. So now if I do a reading, and this doesn't happen often, but if I do a reading I feel uncomfortable, or I feel like I don't feel strong enough to put this out, I don't feel confident enough to put this out, I don't have the inner strength to face what might come back from this, then I'll put it up and put it private, or I won't even upload it for a moment, and I'll do something for myself to fill my own cup and make sure I'm okay, make sure I'm feeling strong internally, and then do that. Same with when I was writing my book, which I finished and still haven't put out. For the same reason, it's like trying to get my intention right, but then not over judging myself, because it got to a point where it's like I would just confirm that it's not right, that something doesn't need to be shared, doesn't deserve to be shared, that there's no point. And it's like, yeah, there's really no point to anything. So whatever you're doing, do it for you firstly. It's like there's a lot of really personal, vulnerable things that I write about in my book. And to put that out is a huge step. It's like, feels like putting myself, like hanging my laundry out to dry. Is that the same? So I've had to take a minute, because at first it was like, this has to go out, it has to go out quick, because think how many people this could help. And really just thinking of the other person, it's like I was really gonna just put myself out there before I was ready. because others were ready for it. And I did actually, at one point, I actually put it out and somebody bought the book. And it was so triggering because I wasn't ready for anyone to have that, to read that, to know what I had put in there. And it wasn't finished. Like, I rushed to put it out. I put it out before I'd finished and had really gone through the journey to complete all sides of the story. And now the book that's actually going out is going to be completely different to the one that did go out, although it's the same. But it's like, as the journey's progressed, there's a different meaning, there's a different intention, there's a different energy, different wording, different. But it's like, I then had to live with the fact that that was in someone's hands and I couldn't do anything about that. So now I really put me first. It's like, when I'm ready to deal with that, and it feels like this is something you're being asked to keep in mind. It's like, yeah, give yourself, but don't give yourself at the sacrifice of yourself. Yeah, be brave, be courageous. But there's a fine line between being courageous and being foolish. And even that thing of like really believing we're doing something for one reason and then it's revealed to us some kind of subconscious intention. That's happened to me before. And it's like, I genuinely, with my whole heart, believe that this is why I wanted to do this. And then some kind of limiting belief or unconscious intention, something that was driving that, will come up and show me why I was really doing what I was doing. And to take a minute to reflect. So it's like, even with the book, it's like, is it just a way to vent? Is it a way to want to be heard? Is it because you want to be seen? Is it a fear of not being seen? Is it a fear of being seen? A fear of success? A fear of failure? A fear of people knowing my humanness, having to relive shame and guilt, worried about outside judgment, still judging myself? It's like a plethora of things. 9 of Wands. Not everything's as it seems. There's many things to things. Let things unravel, let things unfold as they want to, when you're ready for your truth to emerge. You'll know when it's the right time, the divine time. And in order to know that time, sometimes you've got to test the waters, like I said, putting something out, seeing how you feel about it. But just because you step forward doesn't mean you don't have the right to step back. You're in charge. You don't have to put yourself out there. It's like, you're hanging your laundry out to dry and everyone's watching your laundry. You can bring it back in, hang it inside for a bit. Build up the strength, build up the courage, the emotional strength, the self-love. Put the laundry back out. And sometimes it takes putting the laundry out to maybe feel like you should never put it out in the first place and that it's not the road you should take. And sometimes it's you put it out and realise that as much as it's not comfortable, that this is you, this is your purpose, there's no other option. 9 of Cups. You are what your dreams are made of. Your dreams are made of you. If you're not good, nothing else is. So it's like, yeah, we're all going to get a bit battered and bruised in this lifetime. Periods of initiation. All sorts of kind of energies, depending on what you believe in. Spirits, we're going to get shifted into shape. But love and care for your vessel, for yourself, for your mind, for your... It's like, make sure you're good, you're full in the present moment. Feels like you've been through a lot of heartbreak. Justice is now being served. All you're being asked to do right now is let go of what's already gone. Yeah, the Magician, 2 of Wands. We have 3 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, Magician, 2 of Wands, Magician, the World. The world is a symbol of completion. With this card, you see the whole picture, a synthesis of all the elements required to create the total vision. The world carries a message of mastery, maturity, and the successful outcome of a personal journey or cycle of events. Lessons have been learned, dues have been paid, compromises and conditions have been met. Now comes reward and celebration, the acknowledgement of having achieved what you set out to achieve and having grown and bettered yourself in the process. Page 113, number 21, the world. A new relationship or emotional experience, invitations to social events, a compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. Kind in experience, gentle, sensitive. And we have news worth celebrating. Announcements such as weddings, graduations or births, friends that you cherish. Okay guys, I don't know what happened there. The video cut off. Not sure why. We had number 12, awakening. Change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in the action. Okay, we've got a few come out here. We've got the jury box. Number 26. Meaning you are being judged and this puts you in a very vulnerable position, yet there is something that you must never forget. How people see you says more about them than it does about you. Judgments are projections and interpretations. They are not the truth right now. There is no need for you to worry about someone else's opinion. Leave it for what it is and move on with your life. Amen. Amen to that. Key question, how much do you care about what people think of you and the way they may judge what you do or say? Yeah, it feels like whatever this is, what you're here to do, what you're creating, the road you're taking, there's no room for fear. It feels like you're getting pushed to a place where there's really no shift of your internal being. Like no one can really schmooze you up. You can't be fooled by flattery. You can't be diminished by some kind of criticism, by some kind of judgment. Strong sense of self. Then we've got the little mouse, number 7. If you really made the effort of putting yourself in the other person's shoes, what would you do differently? I'm usually guided to read the whole thing, but I'm just guided to read the question for that one. If you really made the effort of putting yourself in the other person's shoes, what would you do differently? And then we've got the White Queen, number 33. This card is all about faith. Faith in your future, as if you have already lived it and know it is going to be great. But also faith in the impossible becoming possible, which implies that you must not get discouraged. Whatever the obstacles, believe that your dreams can come true, even if they seem unrealistic at first glance. Then act accordingly, never doubting that you can do it. Key question, if you had full faith that everything was going to be fine, despite current conditions, how would you act from now on? Instead of waiting for things to be okay, instead of waiting to be happy, instead of waiting for something to come and make you happy, it's like create that happiness. Create that calm. Ground yourself in the present moment. To raise your vibration, all you have to really do is to be present. Come back to yourself, come back to the now. Affirm that everything's great. Create a gratitude list, an anchor thought. Focus on something to confirm how great everything is. We all have things to be grateful for. Like, we can easily dismiss blessings around us because things can get hard. It's like, come back to the basics. Come back to the blessings. Then we have growing and growing, number 9. Oh, this lighting. Come on, get me a good shot. You can see it? No, not at all. Blurry. Complete blur. Anyway, growing and growing, number 9. Alice had followed the white rabbit into his house. As she snooped around in his bedroom, she noticed a little bottle near the mirror. Knowing that something extraordinary happened every time she ate or drank anything in this world, she swallowed the potion and instantly became gigantic. Of course, this made her feel very cramped in the tiny rabbit house. Meaning, you are experiencing some radical change that is transforming you from top to bottom. This is not a bad thing per se, for life is all about impermanence and evolution. The tricky part is that your environment may not change at the same speed, leading you to feel like someone whose shoes are too small for their feet. Strive to create the optimal conditions for your expansion. Make it a priority, because right now your well-being comes first. Key question: do you have enough space to grow and blossom? Do my little ego check. The waxing moon. Now is a good time to focus on achieving your own personal goals. Not everyone's going to get it. It's not a reason to not go get it. Be your wild, mysterious self. Beware of letting your wilder instincts spin out of control. It feels like you could be getting pissed off with a lot of things right now. And to really, it's all fuel. It's like someone pisses you off, makes you smile, or does something to irritate you, triggers you. It's all fuel. It's all free fuel. You can either use it and waste your fuel on ranting. It's like putting petrol in a car and then just spinning round and round in circles, or just driving up the same road over and over again till you run out of petrol. It's like, that's kind of with that emotional reactivity, that outburst energy, which I'm very, like, I've dealt with that a lot throughout my own life. That kind of combustion. But to really learn to harness that, to channel it, to use it for your own benefit, to come back to the heart space, to let off steam in a way that is productive, a way that fills your cup, a way that makes you laugh, a way that raises your vibration, a way that honors you. It's all sacred, especially the rage. It's all sacred. Don't suppress anything. Utilize what you can. Cow, a new beginning or even a new life may be blooming. Yeah, time to take action. 37 past. Be grateful. You have much to celebrate. Deep feelings of peace and happiness. A contented personal life. Reward myself. Sacral chakra. I allow myself to experience and receive more pleasure in my life, and I am flexible and open to change. I am receptive to embracing activities and events that come my way, even those I may have avoided in the past. And we've got crown chakra, spiritual awareness. When my mind sways negatively, I remind myself of love, truth, gratitude, and spirit. I am the observer of my thoughts. I do not let them bring me down. I remind myself to have gratitude and acceptance for what is, and to have the courage of my convictions. I continually pursue a clearer understanding. I got disturbed by an advert, and the beginning of the advert was like, you've got an idea of a dream that you're building, and it's going to be amazing. And then it skipped. So, FYI, it's going to be amazing. I continually pursue a clearer understanding of spiritual truths behind all that is and all that is unfolding. I ask myself, is what I'm thinking the truth, and is it having a positive or negative impact on my life? And we've got third eye chakra, imagination. I use my imagination as I create and pursue my dreams and wishes. I ask myself, what do I want? My thoughts create my reality at the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels. I use this power to create harmonious relationships between all these levels. I imagine the life I would like to have, and I encourage my thoughts to be truthful, wise, and discerning. In the quietness of meditation, I see and hear the truth. We've got Badger, number 29, aggressiveness. First page it opened on was Armadillo, boundaries. Number 28, page 149. Armadillo, armor all my boundaries, teach me my shields, reflect all the hurt, so I will not yield. If you have no boundaries, you are like a sponge. It will seem as if all the feelings in a room full of people must be yours. Ask yourself if you are really feeling depressed, or if this feeling actually belongs to the person you are talking to. Then allow Armadillo's armor to slice in between, giving you back your sense of self. Aggressiveness, Badger. Badger, badger, badger until you reach your goal. Know the inner power that lives in your soul. So it came out in reverse, so I'm going to check that. Oops, here comes Badger upside down and fuming. This could mean that you are being chewed out by someone else, or that you have expressed your anger in an unhealthy way. If this applies to you, remember that all anger stems from anger towards the self. It is an anger of helplessness that is misdirected towards others. If you are angry at a co-worker for telling the boss that you were looking for another job, you are really angry at yourself for not keeping your own secret. If you are angry at your children for disobeying, it is usually anger that stems from fear for the children's well-being. This self-anger condition is usually present when you have silly accidents, falls, cuts and scrapes, or when you find yourself bumping into furniture. Something coming through there. Elatom Elamin, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, breatharian. He said something on a video I watched once. It was like, we are part of the environment. We are nature. We shouldn't have accidents. You should have seen it coming. You should be tuned in. How we trip, we fall, we might step on something, or it's like we are part of the environment. And when we are truly at home in ourselves, we are in our heart. When we're in a heart space, when we're fully present, when we're in that parasympathetic state, when we're not caught up in fear or rage or anger or something outside of ourselves, there are no accidents. It's like if a child's playing on a wall, and it looks like the wall's kind of high, and the parent runs over screaming at the child to be careful of the wall. That projection of energy, that fear that can come out as anger or frustration, maybe they'll shout because they've seen the worst case scenario in their mind of the child falling off the wall. Not only could that actually cause the child to fall off the wall, it also installs fear into the child. It's like you could walk up to the child and ask them to come off of the wall if you really want them to come off of the wall, or just slowly walk up to the child and pass them your hand, and they'll understand that communication. Same with animals. It's like when an animal's not doing what it wants, what you want it to do. If you're training a dog, people often start shouting. It's like if the dog's not listening, they say it louder. Same with people. The amount of times I've been speaking to someone and someone keeps saying something louder and louder, like I didn't get it the first time round. It's like when we're in that state of survival, when we're reacting unconsciously or in that emotionally reactive state, it's because something needs to be felt, something needs to be released, something needs to be processed. But it's like there's a time for that. Instead of it suppressing things so it spits out during the day, or that false evidence appearing real kind of situation where you're trying to control every outcome, it's like that actually causes more accidents than when we're in that state of trust, in that state of surrender. Don't stoop down to anyone else's level. Stay in your heart space. Instead of leaking out, like letting that fuel leak out with some kind of outburst, to channel it in a healthy way, in a way that really does serve you. Number 49, the Cure. He stands out for his talent and virtue, and his great generosity is revealed in his aura. Well respected, a loyal supporter of noble causes, intellectually open. He leads by example of his good conduct, having a well-developed sense of humour. He can make a point without seeming arrogant, and expresses himself well. Innovative, unbiased, dynamic and intelligent, he has a great capacity for forgiving the mistakes of others and always judges prudently. Marriage brings him stability, and his family is united and harmonious. Physically, he looks after his appearance. Planet Mercury, reasons for invoking, to bring mental understanding, to find comfort in setbacks, to have divine protection in the search for moral values, to lead us towards spiritual development. Page number 37. I'm going to leave it there. If this did resonate, like, share and subscribe. I'll catch you guys soon. Sending so much love.